Hey, what's up guys? UrAvgWarGamer is back with another video of World of Warships, and I know guys, it's been a long time. I was not able to upload quite a lot of videos, but well, now I am back, and well, Wargaming is also back with a big Pandora box, which is going to be the biggest monetization scheme that I have never thought that Wargaming will be introducing that early. It's not surprising to me right now because Wargaming kind of now trying to leech every bit of money from the players in the game for the last 2 or 3 years or so. Like if you even talk about like 5 years from now, like if you take a look at 5 years ago, we always used to have every bit of the rare ship, like for example the small lance, the thunder, every bit of ship that Wargaming has added, well, you used to get them for coal or for steel or any other, I would say, very powerful ship. You can get it by just spending the resources, right? The coal resources. But now we have like pay to win ships like Valparaiso, the Hildebrand, a lot of other ridiculous BBs like Wisconsin, like it's one of the dockyard battleships. This is not surprising. This content rarity and ship rotation is not surprising to me whatsoever. And by the way, I have already posted an extensive sort of review of mine about what do I believe that's gonna bring changes to this game, but you can just simply read it all along. So I have explained everything that I think no other YouTuber or streamer even able to do that. So some of the biggest flaws that I have managed to find out by tinkering into the development block itself, like it's crazy. The amount of information that somehow is so illogical, and there are so serious cracks in their own development blog, and their rarity level thing, which I will be explaining here, is something that you should be very careful, and you should be knowing these things all together. So that's why I will be most likely gonna talk about the negatives, because everyone, other YouTuber out there also explain this in their YouTube channel or maybe in their streams, that it is not a good sign for the game in the future, because this is full on Wargaming trying to get the money from the players. But what they are trying to do is I will be explaining right now. So I have explained it in this whole post. You can go and check that out. But if you want to know further, well, I have some other comments. So for example, Wargaming new ship rarity system, okay, this is what they are introducing along with the rotation system as well, is their new powerful way of grand monetization scheme for existing, so which means the older ships as well as the upcoming ships in the future. So it's not going it's not only going to affect the older premiums, they're also going to be affecting the new upcoming premiums in the future. And well, they kind of talked about this in the development blog by introducing now the rarity levels. So what Wargaming is kind of doing is they're going to be rate every ship based on their rarity level, right? So for example, the Tech 3 ships, they're going to be putting into the common rarity level. Everyone will have access to it, even though there is always an early access, 2 months. And they still say it's a rarity level as common. It's just kind of baffling to me. Like, it's so they're still able to lead so much money by early access from some players that seeing the rarity level common for Tech 3 ships is kind of funny and sad at the same time. And then we will have uncommon, rare, epic, and legendary. So uncommon ships are going to be super ships, some ships that are like Atag or Cossack, all the older premium ships right now that got released in a very natural way. I would say, I don't know if the Valparaiso or Suzuya is gonna be like uncommon ships. I don't believe that the Valparaiso is an uncommon ship at all. Like it should be it's so powerful that it should be rated as rare. But the way Wargaming is saying, previously released regularly available premium ships like Atag or Cossack, which means every other ship, and they have given us a bit of a list of uncommon ships, which I will be explaining later. And then also the ships that got released through event passes like Duplex. So there were some ships that are exclusive event pass ships. So they are also gonna be in the uncommon level. Then we will have rare level, which is going to be the steel ships and research bureau ships, because Wargaming thinks it's difficult to grind the steel and research bureau, and that's why they should be based on rare level. And then they are also saying the dockyard midpoint ships like Ripples, as well as the collaboration content, like for example the AL Hindenburg, or maybe the from the Azure lane like Sovietsky Rossiya, etc. Those are the ships that possibly also gonna be in the rare level. Then we will have Epic, which gonna be having like final reward dockyard ships like the Wisconsin, and the golden ships like Prince Van Orange G, and the final and last but not the least the legendary which I have explained in one of my videos like Iwaki Alpha, Arkansas Beta, Kitakami for wargaming standards right now is legendary, which is, well, they try to just make Kitakami legendary themselves, and now they're just posting it like this. So I don't know what they have plans for Kitakami in this year, but it seems like we might be seeing insane monetization for Kitakami even once again, because Wargaming has said after 2 years they will be releasing Kitakami. So let's see what happens to Kitakami, and then Alabama STNVL, which basically given to the volunteer groups, the players who are in the super test program or the clan super test program, or even the wiki. I don't exactly remember the name, but yeah, those are the programs that gives them some of these rewards as well, which are gonna be legendary by wargaming standards. So this is the category. I have explained it here, but it sounds logical, right? It looks like that everything seems to be good because, well, now we have some filters that can tell you that whether it's a common ship, uncommon ship, rare, epic, or whatever, okay? But no, it's not like that. It's basically what Wargaming is trying to make sure that they can leech out even more money than ever before. And we will have some of the broken logic which I have find out in the development blog, which already like makes me question what Wargaming is trying to do. So let's talk about these broken logic that I have literally find out in development blog. And the first logic that I am completely baffled about is going to be the San Diego and Leon. This is, by the way, a dev blog code. Okay, this is literally the copy of the dev blog code from the development blog. Okay, so Wargaming is saying additionally two rare ships, San Diego and Leon. Wait, what? San Diego and Leon? How they become a rare ship suddenly? By the way, if I can just show you the dev blog code quickly, let me just show you that quickly. So if you have read the dev blog, if you go into the ship rotation section, there is the section which they also tell, by the way, which is kind of very surprising, that they actually told us early that the William d'Oreste, the upcoming battleship, and Irresistible is going to be available for research, bureau points, and steel, which is pretty interesting. But this is the important code. Two rare ships, San Diego and Leon. What? They are basically saying the San Diego and Leon as rare. Meanwhile, by the way, the San Diego is currently available in the armory for direct doubloon purchase. How Wargaming now suddenly out of the middle of nowhere, out of thin air, literally saying that the San Diego is rare? Now this is obviously my opinion. But I still believe that it should not be a rare ship. If I can just show you maybe in the armory quickly, you will see that it's available directly for doubloon purchase. There's no crate, no time limit, it's just available. Yet they are saying rare in their own development blog? Like, what is this? This is the biggest question mark and the sign, and a big warning sign for all of us players, that Wargaming can say whatever they want for a ship, and they want to control how they will rate a ship in the future. That's literally what it looks like. Okay? And also, if you take a look at the Leon is a tier 6 Italian destroyer. By the way, San Diego is a tier 8 premium light cruiser. But, well, you can also see that the Leon is available right now, and it is just a couple of clicks away. All you have to do is to just buy the containers that are associated with Leon in the container collection. I don't want to show you maybe right now, but you can go and check that out. Maybe I can show you like for a second, but still, you can go and check that out yourself. These are buyable for gold right now. It's available. And it's still saying that it is a rare ship because it's not available in the premium shop. And like, what is this logic? It's really insane. A ship that is not in the premium shop, but then there is a ship that like San Diego in the armory for doubloon purchase, and their still rating is as rare. That's insane. Maybe what they are thinking That's my theory, that since they are putting the San Diego as a final reward in the part of a free event collection, they said that they will be removing from the armory. And is that the reason why they're saying the San Diego is going to be now a rare ship and Leon is a rare ship because it's in the containers? Or you can just get it by opening a lot of containers by the usage of coal? I mean, that's weird, right? And then, by the way, Brisbane and Jaeger, okay? These are the Brisbane is a Commonwealth Tier 10 cruiser that has like 12-kilometer radar, if you don't know. And the Jaeger is a torpedo boat destroyer at Tier 9. Both of these ships, by the way, were event-based grind, okay? They were previously event-based grind, and then they obviously added it for, I don't know, the coal resource later on, after a year or something like that. But by the Wargaming's own logic, it should be rare because the Brisbane and Jaeger, they were event-based ships. They were originally event-limited grind ships. Yes, they are also selling it along the other ways. I think from the bundles or something like that, those tokens or whatever. But still, it should be rare because Wargaming literally said in their development blog, if I can just show you like really quickly, at that event-based ships like Tennessee, dockyard midpoint ships like Repulse, like event-based ships like Tennessee, or maybe you can even say Tai Hang, right? Those ships should be labeled as rare, but they're not. Now, definitely that's gonna increase the cost because I haven't even talked about the cost of the coal and doubloon that they are changing. They are basically standardizing the thing, but I won't be talking right now. I just want to just give you these weird logic by Wargaming that, and the biggest weird logic is that the Black and Nistoshimi that we have currently right now as coal ships, they are labeled as epic. Why? Like why the Black and Nistoshimi labeled epic, even though they've been consistently available for coal for years, by the way. So they are like, for a long time they are available for coal. They started as steel ships, yes, but they have been rotated back into the game for a long duration now. You can't call them suddenly epic just because they are easier to get than steel, yet you are seeing Jaeger and Brisbane as uncommon, even though they should be rare. And that's why it's literally contradicting their own rare ship logic above. At least that's my opinion. Okay? The Black and Nistoshimi, they should be based as a rare category, right? So they should be cheaper. Meanwhile, if I can show you the standardization of the coal and doubloons or tier to tier, you can see here they have changed the doubloon prices. Like for example, the tier 9 rare ships gonna be costing you slightly higher than 19,000 doubloon. 19,000 doubloons usually where you see the tier 9 doubloon price. And now they are slightly cheaper at 18,000 for uncommon. As you can see, this is the current range. This is the current range. So they are a bit cheaper for doubloons. But you guys know that Wargaming always come up with some sort of Admiral bundle where you will have shit ton of other stuff along with the ship itself that can increase the cost from 31,000 to maybe 50,000. So that does not really matter. That does not really matter. They're just simply gonna add a lot of other stuff along with some commanders that have voiceovers or whatever that players might not be interested in other than the ship itself, and they can just cost more than 50,000 doubloons for a single ship. So that's like baseless logic. I know what Wargaming is trying to say, oh, we're gonna be making it cheaper. It's not. It's not. 34,000, we have seen Hildebrand costing you 50,000 doubloons if you open up the bundles. We have seen, even right now, we have seen like Valparaiso, which should be right around 19,300 doubloons for a tier 9 battleship. They're selling it for tier 10 price because they have added tons of other stuff along with that ship itself. And then if you take a look at the standardization of coal, they come up with the uncommon, rare, and epic category, and they have standardized the price for everything. For example, at tier 10, every ship, if it's a destroyer, cruiser, battleship, or carrier, every uncommon ship is going to be costing you 260,000. Rare, 310,000. Epic, 415,000. What the hell? That's insane money. Sorry, not money, but that's insane coal. Bro. So Wargaming will come up some of the most absurd ways to basically ask you guys to pay a lot of coal, and they can just apply that rare or epic logic in the future, whatever the ship they want to apply for. Like literally that's gonna happen. in the future. And by the way, maybe we are not seeing the Incheon and some of these tier 10 ships because Wargaming is going to implement this and then they will be adding the coal ships in the future. I don't know. That's what I believe, that that's the reason why we did not have seen much coal ships recently. Like the latest coal ships are not the newer coal ships. They are just old coal ships. Like for example, the Key, the all these are the ships that just available for a long time ago for doubloons or something like that. And then suddenly Wargaming is like, okay, we're gonna be selling it for coal. So that's not like new ship by any means. So we haven't seen Incheon or any other ships like that in the coal resource, like it used to happen like 5 6 years ago. Yeah, it used to happen like that, but now it does not. And by the way, this logic is kind of ridiculous. And then Rhode Island currently only in Santa crates. Okay, for me, I don't understand what Rhode Island is gonna be like. We don't know whether it's a rare ship or not. We know that it's in a tier 10 category, but they haven't said it as it's a rare ship. But is it a rare ship? Like it was previously sold at random bundles and briefly for direct doubloons, yet Wargaming has not publicly defined where it sits like many other ships like Incheon, Hildebrand, La Pampa, Monomut, Seal, Incheon. Are they rare or uncommon? Like, do we know that? No. So it's vague, it's inconsistent, it's unclear. That's why I said there's no transparency, is basically going to be the confusion and exploitation. It's going to be more confusion for players, like what this new ship is going to be. Is it a rare? Is it a uncommon? Is it a like epic? Now I know the epic is going to be mostly for dockyard final rewards, but still the system is, as of right now, inconsistent, unclear, possibly intentionally vague. So this opens the door for Wargaming to label any ship however they want, inflates its value, and manipulate buyer behavior in future. That's what's gonna happen. Go and figure out that. This is what Wargaming wants. This is the biggest point that I want to tell you guys, that this is not looking good. This is all negative. And reality is this whole development blog, other than maybe standardizing the prices, is still gonna make players pay more doubloons or coal in a long run, because mostly ships nowadays Wargaming adds are tier 10s. And as you can see, if Wargaming adds suddenly a rare tier 10 ship, it's going to cost you upwards of 300,000 gold, which is kind of insane. A lot of players struggle to even get 200k gold in 2-3 months, let alone 310. That's a big jump. At least it's a big jump in price, for example, from Sherman. Sherman costing 232,000 gold, right? And from here to getting there is just a big jump. And then the epic, I fear that we might be seeing the older dockyard ships back, but that's gonna cost you maybe that much money. Oh, sorry, that much coal. It is possible, but well, I have 5 points which I have come up with. Obviously, this is managed or set up by AI, structured by AI, but obviously these are my points which I have come up with, and you can see here. So what Wargaming is really planning, first of the thing is that Wargaming is gonna be using this whole scheme for a rarity inflation. So it's gonna be justification for overpricing, okay? The ships labeled rare or epic can now be priced way higher in gold or doubloons without any backlash, and that's what we are seeing here. If Wargaming wants to make a ship rare, even though it should be uncommon, like but Wargaming is like, no, we might not be adding this ship as a uncommon because of this and that, and they can just simply put it as rare category, or maybe you can just say rare category. Even though I know this whole thing just does not matter. Doubloons does not matter because we have gambling, we have bundles. So this is like this is such a manipulation. Like it's ouch, man. Everyone will be thinking, oh, it's cheaper. No, it's not cheaper, guys. This is a fool of you if you think that it's getting cheaper. A tier 10 ship is gonna get cheaper. No, I have talked about that. So now we are going to have rare or epic ships label that can now be priced way higher in coal or doubloons without backlash. It's literally setting the stage for tier 10 coal ships that will be priced at 300k coal with no other grind option other than spending money. Or either you just grind it for free, which I doubt that, but if Wargaming does, they will later on price it with 300k plus coal every single time for a tier 10 rare ship, right? Ship rotation, which I haven't talked about, but I will just gonna briefly explain this point. Ship rotation is gonna be simply a FOMO based monetization. So all the older ships, Wargaming literally said, if I can go in and just talk about the ship rotation mechanic. Now, what Wargaming is doing and why Wargaming is introducing a ship rotation system, just read that code. We are introducing a ship rotation system to streamline the increasingly crowded armory and premium shop. Is this whole armory and premium shop is really crowded? Or is it Wargaming is trying to cloud the player's mindset that it's crowded? I don't know. It seems like Wargaming is trying to literally remove the older premium ships, which basically they have explained that the list of ships that will temporarily leave armory and premium shop in 14.6 update, which is 1.5 months from now, they're going to be removing all the older ships for a temporary time because it's increasingly crowded armory and premium shop. But you know what? This is not like that. Wargaming is trying that the players will spend money, literally spend money right now before they got removed. And by the way, they have said that a group of ships may be out of rotation for the maximum of 6 updates, which is a good long time. So you won't be seeing maybe these ships for 6 months. All of these ships, you won't be seeing them for 6 months in the armory and premium shop. Now, another questionable thing is that whether they are only going to be focusing this rotation on coal ships, which they haven't talked here. They haven't even touched here, but I know that the coal ships also most likely going to be rotated. Most likely, even though they haven't confirmed it anywhere here. But at least what they have confirmed is the doubloon ships going to be leaving the armory and premium shop for 6 months. So you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So at this time, we are going to get all of these ships back. And that's what they have literally explained it here. So if a group is introduced in the 14.6, the ships will be available until the version, so yeah, 6 updates. It's going to be available for 6 updates at the time. So this is basically meaning that instead of offering all coal or doubloon ships, they will most likely rotate a few in and out. But that's what Wargaming is trying. Buy now or wait 6+ months. Encourages panic spending before the ships are removed. This point is why we are looking at the ship rotation, or you can see FOMO-based monetization. The third point is event gating returns at its peak. So ships, for example, that we have recently grinded out, like Tennessee, like many ships once available through event-based grinds, like Tennessee or Taihang, which right now Wargaming is literally going to make them rare, because they are event-based grind. And for some reason, Brisbane and Jaeger are uncommon. Again, weird. Might return only via loot crates, bundles, or expensive collections. So what Wargaming can do, they will try to remove these ships first. They will initially offer you a free grind, maybe, for example, with the Taihang or Tennessee, and then they just remove them for at least minimum 4 months. That's what literally Wargaming has said. Maybe I can show you here. Let me get to that. As you can see here, each ship in block will follow a minimum wait time of 4 updates when they have pulled out, and a maximum of 15 updates before being eligible for sale. At least the good thing is, we know their time sort of line, right? So, and they're talking about the ship that they just recently released, like initially released. So after the initial release, they will have a wait time of 4 updates and a maximum of 15 updates. So what is possible with the Taihang or Tennessee that we might see 15 months break, and then in the middle of that break we might see the loot boxes, bundles, or expensive collection sort of thing for them. Okay, and before they finally adding them coal or by other means. So after 15 months, after they just milk the ton out of the player base by other ways like loot boxes, gambling, or something like that, we will finally see them maybe for coal, maybe, and also expensive for coal, by the way. So Wargaming can call this rare content. to justify gambling mechanics, which for even older ships. So that's what Wargaming will be doing with this rotation, ship rotation. Fourth point is dockyard and early access ships might return for a price. So, for example, if you haven't seen the Puerto Rico, we might see a Puerto Rico back. But since by Wargaming standards, it is gonna be the epic ship. The Puerto Rico might be the epic ship. That's because it's the final dockyard reward, right? And we haven't seen Puerto Rico for like years now. They have added 2 dockyards for Puerto Rico. First in 2020, which is a disaster, and the second is like recent 2023 or 2024. I don't exactly remember the timeline for that, but you expect Puerto Rico to be available maybe for coal, but it's gonna cost you 415,000 coal. I won't be surprised if I see this price tag for Puerto Rico. Okay, and the Wisconsin and Heisen, they will follow the similar pattern. They will be inflated with rare or epic tags, and obviously they will possibly going to be having that lock behind the premium events. So multi-stage bundle, this is all possible. Super inflated coal prices, which I have already explained for Puerto Rico. So the Incheon, the Monument, the Defense, they're possibly coming for 300k plus coal, because these are most likely maybe the rare ships. If they are rare ships, which maybe is going to happen, that's going to cost you a lot of coal. And even then, if they are not rare, they're still going to cost you 260,000 coal. And the final word, or last but not the least point, Wargaming is basically trying to clean house to reset demand. This is literally like, I'm just going to rotate the ships, and because players know that the ship is there in the armory, I can buy it anytime, so I won't buying it. But since now suddenly, Wargaming's like, we're going to be pulling those ships out. A group of ships is coming out, those older group of ships, older premium, like for example, the Loyang is the oldest premium. We're going to be taking it out. And some of the players are going to be like, oh, no, I just want to buy it before it gets out. And that's what I have explained. And then months later, they might have a rare or epic tag for maybe the newer ships or whatever. So it's going to be a soft inventory wipe, forcing players to rebuy ships they have missed. That's what it is. It's ridiculous, guys. Unfortunately, there are so many cons, not a lot of pros at all whatsoever, even though they are coming up with some UI improvements, which I don't care. They haven't fixed so many bugs, like so many infested, painful bugs in the game from the UI perspective, from the gameplay perspective, and coming up with this whole design, that's just insane. For me, honestly, what I want from Wargaming, and maybe that might have some sort of belief that the game is still gonna have some power left or some sort of healthiness left if they come up with these things, these points that I have mentioned here. Public master list, if they tell us what Rhode Island is gonna be costing you, what Incheon, Monument, Seal, that submarine, what is gonna be what's like the rarity type is like. Is it the rarity like rare ship, or it's like uncommon? They should explain every bit of that ship right now in this public master list. Just literally give us the public master list. That would be a step in right direction. Fair rotation system. Obviously, if they want to rotate ships, then they should give us the idea that if they have removed it today, when it's gonna be coming back. At least we should have a timeline of full 2 years availability. I know this is a lot of stretch for Wargaming to tell us, which they will not. But again, if they might do that, that's still a better thing than the thing that they have explained here in this dev blog. And then also stop mislabeling available ships. I mean, the Nustrishimi and Black are straight up like should not deserve to be epic. They are not dockyard final reward ships. They were X-Steel ships. And yet they still labeled it epic so that they just keep the price higher, which it should not be like, right? So this is like the problem, okay? Don't call something rare if I can literally buy it right now with 3 clicks, like the San Diego and the Leon. They are not rare ships, yet Wargaming is trying to make them rare, and the Nustrishimi, Flint, and Black should be labeled as rare ships, but they are epic. And last but not the least, my final thoughts. If it is transparent, fair, and structured, that would be nice, but since it's a Wargaming, we know all the track record of Wargaming. This is basically a repackaging of existing ships as limited edition. So they will just rotate them out, and it will increase the sales, fear of missing out, and RNG monetization. Obviously, for the older ships and for the newer ships, they will be basically having like a rare or epic edition to justify the increase in price for coal at tier 10 ships, especially. So this is this step block. I think I have explained it quite a bit. I will talk about the trade-in event, which is sort of a good thing. But as you can see here, there are going to be a lot of ships that's going to be removed. Like some people do like Sharnos, it's not going to be there now anymore in the armory or premium shop. And they have explained everything about the ship rotation, which is a bad sign. But I will try to end the video here and leave to you guys by just you guys reading that haven't read this whole post, or you can just maybe comment me down below what do you think about this whole thing. I think this is a terrible idea as of right now. I would love to see that Wargaming comes up with a full list of the bugs that they might be fixing at some point. Well, they don't want to do that because Wargaming might not even have a way to fix them. But they do have one way, is to get the money and control everything that they have added in this game. They want to have a control over player base. And this is what ship rotation and the rarity categories is going to be like. It's going to give Wargaming more control. Thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you guys into the next one. Peace out.